Our top story today, reaction to the death of the Queen of England. Yeah, Elizabeth. What's next for England's monarchy? The UK is waking up to its first full day without Queen Elizabeth II on the throne. Britain and the world are grieving and reflecting after the 96-year-old monarch died at her place in Scotland on Thursday. Tina Kraus joins us from Windsor Castle with more as the nation begins in what will be nearly a two-week period of mourning.
Outside London's Buckingham Palace, a large crowd sang Britain's national anthem. Across the nation, people are looking back on the life and legacy of Queen Elizabeth II's 7 decades on the throne.
And we've all known just one queen. She's a person we've always looked up to.
After the news of her death at age 96, countless people from around the world turned up here at the Queen's primary residence, Windsor Castle. They're still coming this morning, bringing flowers, notes, and heavy hearts.
She led this country with great reverence and duty and respect and honor, and I just don't know if there will be another like her.
Queen Elizabeth ruled through 15 prime ministers, from Winston Churchill to the newly elected Liz Truss. The Queen's passing Thursday at Balmoral Castle, her summer home in Scotland, instantly elevated her son Charles to the throne as King Charles III.
She was a great lady.
In Washington, President Biden and the First Lady paid their respects and signed a condolence book at the British Embassy. The American flag flew at half-staff at the White House and the U.S. Capitol in the Queen's honor. New York City's Empire State Building was bathed in purple and silver light. Back in London, even Mother Nature paid a colorful tribute with a double rainbow over Buckingham Palace just before the Queen's death was announced. In the coming days, her state funeral will be held at Westminster Abbey. Tina Kraus, CBS News, Windsor, England.
And at the age of 73, King Charles III is now the oldest person to ever assume the British throne. No date has been set for his coronation. Charles' wife Camilla will be known as Queen Consort, that title that eventually came with Queen Elizabeth's blessing. Well, switching gears now to Puerto Rico, a new exhibit will commemorate the life and legacy of Roberto Clemente as part of the 50 years celebrating. They have connected over 3,000 hits as a Major League Baseball player. Francis Felix reports.
Celebrating the 50th year of our Roberto Clemente 3,000 hits, a new exhibition, We Are 21, will be shown here at the Puerto Rico Convention Center. This collection is a homage to his legacy as a baseball player and as a humanitarian. Over 50 collector items and memorabilia of our Major League star Roberto Clemente arrive at the Puerto Rico Convention Center. The memorabilia collection have unique pieces from the private collection of the curators Ángel Colón and Ricardo Fernández.
Is to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the 3,000th hit of Roberto Clemente and also the 50th anniversary of his passing in December 31st of 1972, que ya son 50 años. It's already been 50 years. So this exhibit, along with many of the other things that are happening here in Puerto Rico, with the documentary of the 3,000 Razones, also the exhibit of Puerto Rico here, of the We Are 21 exhibit, and the events that are taking place in New York with the domino tournament. This is all to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Roberto Clemente.
Memories and articles about Clemente's life are part of this tribute that seeks to transmit his legacy to new generations.
So basically there's a lot for them to see, and I think that there's a lot for them to learn, because Roberto Clemente is not only a baseball player. Clemente was an activist, and Clemente believed that all people should be treated equally. It's not only the baseball player of Roberto Clemente, it's also the activist of Roberto Clemente. And those are the things that people need to know about him, that his spirit is not only about baseball, it's about the spirit of human nature. And that's why we love Roberto Clemente.
Collection items such as this bat used in 1966 MVP season and also the socks he wore in 1970 hometown campaign are part of the items you will see in this exhibition. A little bit what items we are going to find.
The first ones are 3
Puerto Rican Winter League, Professional Baseball League, contracts signed in original by Roberto Clemente. You will see the copy because the signature is inside the contract. So I made a copy so you can see Roberto Clemente's signature.
Clemente Walker immortalized the number 21 on his jersey, withdrawn in 1973 by the Pirates, and for this reason the exhibition honors him with the name We Are 21.
The number 21 is very identified with him, but we are all Roberto Clemente. All Puerto Ricans are Roberto Clemente. Everyone that understands what Clemente is all about, they are 21. So that's why we all are. We are 21.
Locals will have the opportunity to enjoy for free the exhibition.
This exhibit is going to be here for 45 days, free of charge, from Monday through Saturday, 9 to 4 o'clock. And then this same exhibit goes to the offices of tourism in Old San Juan. So all from now to 31st of December, everyone will have the opportunity to go visit and learn more about Clemente.
Various documentaries and festivals will be held in honor of Roberto Clemente during the month of September in the continental U.S. and in Puerto Rico. Reporting from Miramar, Puerto Rico, Frances Felix.
All right, thanks so much for that report, Francis. Well, in the Turks and Caicos, there's been an unfortunate spike in deadly violence, in some cases random gun and gang violence, which has residents worried. So TCI leaders are stepping up to crack down. Our One Caribbean News' Deandra Hamilton brings us this report.
In recent days, the Turks and Caicos Islands has seen a spike in deadly gang and gun violence activities across communities on Providenciales, which is the country's economic hub. These activities have resulted in residents fearing for their lives and being afraid to leave their homes. The increase has demanded that leaders take drastic measures in order to contain the surge in random, reckless violence, retaliatory crimes, which have led to the deaths of 4 people, 2 double homicides within 32 hours this past weekend. During a press conference on Monday, the TCI's Governor Nigel Dakin discussed some measures which will be employed to mitigate this major problem. These include helicopter support from the Cayman Islands.
Police resources are presently being reconfigured to ensure the thin blue line that stands between the population and the criminals prevails. More police will be visible. Requested helicopter support from the Cayman Islands with nighttime surveillance capability. This can provide an overwatch for policing operations and for the community.
He also noted that a plea is planned for greater UK support, as it is the United Kingdom which is responsible for national security in the Turks and Caicos as an overseas territory.
The UK has been building lines of capability within our police force. But as of today, we're now working through how we can deliver a far more significant uplift to the UK's direct support in terms of a unit focused on gangs, guns and drugs.
On a long-term basis, the goal is to get TCI a surveillance aircraft of its own. Both border and domestic security stand to benefit.
It will make an enormous difference to securing our borders, not just from the large people trafficking sloops, who we are now adept at intercepting, but also the fast boats that bring in guns, drugs, people and ammunition.
Since the start of the year, 15 people have been killed in the Turks and Caicos, which is home to around 45,000 people.